before we begin, if you want to see music bios or more good videos like this, hit the subscribe button. And without further ado, on to our feature presentation. Welcome back everyone. Today I want to discuss the 2026 Grammy nominees. With them being released, I figured we talked about what I learned from this year's nominees. And this is not my Grammy prediction video, as that'll come at a later date closer to the ceremonies. But this year's nominees have been something. I have thoughts, you know this, but congratulations to all the nominees, especially the first time nominees. But before we get into this year's takeaways, let's revisit last year and see how I did. The first takeaway I had was history was on the line, and I was kind of right about it on the part of Beyonce adding on to her Grammys, but she did achieve history with the country categories, so much that it split the best country albums into two categories. I also mentioned that Billie could have faced some history, but she got shut out. Not the only person that got shut out in the Grammys last year. But I was right that Kendrick had a shot to win Record and Song of the Year. I did not expect him to take both. And the second takeaway I had was Sabrina versus Chapel. And I said it was a two-horse race between those two, and I was right. In that video, I said Sabrina had a shot, but with my predictions, I changed it to Chaperone, and I ended up being correct. And my third takeaway I had was cautious for Taylor, because I said there was a chance for her to get shut out, and she did. I did say she had a chance to win Album of the Year alongside Billie, Beyonce, and maybe Chaperone. And I made the prediction that she was going to win Best Music Video, but that lost to Not Like Us. And with the showgirl criticisms, all I'm going to say is, I hope y'all keep that same energy for the 2027 Grammys. My fourth takeaway I had last year was I said rap was a mess. And the only reason why I said this was because Best Melodic Performance was lackluster. J. Cole's mixtape was nominated, but Kendrick wound up dominating this section alongside Doechii and Rhapsody. The snubs from last year, I said Dua Lipa, Megan Thee Stallion, Drake, turned out he was boycotting. Nicki Minaj, Too Sweet, Beautiful Things, Doja Cat were the biggest snubs. Then I said Ariana Grande was under-nominated. She should have got nominated for more. And last year I said the surprises. Charli XCX's presence on the general field was the biggest surprise of 2025, as did Chaperone. I also mentioned Chris Brown being one of the biggest surprises, and all three surprises fared well in the Grammys last year. So with that out the way, let's look at what I learned for the 2026 Grammy nominations. And my first takeaway is that Best New Artist is wide open. This might be one of the most interesting Best New Artist categories we've seen in some time. One where I don't think there's a clear winner. Y'all know women have ruled this category since Chance the Rapper in 2017. This year will be the year the streak gets contested, because Leon Thomas, I think, is the biggest threat to win. Because of all the Best New Artist nominees, he has the most nominations with 6. We might get into it, we might not. But Mutt was a strong piece of work. And for me, Olivia Dean is making a gutsy move because she put all her chips into this category. Her only nomination. She did not submit Man I Need for the Grammys. But I'm 90% sure she'll get nominations in the 2027 show for her album. Other than that, Cat's Eye is here. More on them in a bit. The Maria, Somber, Addison Rae, Alex Warren, more on him as well, also got nominated. But I don't think there's a clear-cut winner for Best New Artist this year. And my second takeaway, I think rap had a strong campaign. A lot of people have been calling out rap for having a weak year in 2024, 2025, but the Grammys said otherwise, because 3 rap albums are up for Album of the Year. And while I expected Kendrick Lamar and Tyler, the Creator, to be represented, I did not expect to see Clips to get a nod here. Best Rap Album might be the most stacked as it's ever been. Kendrick might end up sweeping it all. We'll see when I do my predictions in January. But he has the most nominations out of everyone with 9. Also, to my surprise and chagrin, Sexyy Red is now a Grammy-nominated artist. Yippee. But all in all, rap had a strong showing. Might not have shown on Billboard, but it showed here. My third takeaway is that the Grammys is ready to embrace K-pop. Mostly you could thank the K-pop Demon Hunters phenomenon for that. Also, Rosé is up for 3 awards thanks to Appa 2, and I kind of called it being here. But you'll hear it here first. This will be the year K-pop will see its first Grammy win. Not sure where, and I'm not sure if it's even will be its first, but I digress. We'll have to wait and see what I think about it in January. But takeaway number 4, I think Record of the Year might be a repeat, because Record of the Year has a lot of familiar faces. Faces that has won this category in the past. Past winners included Bruno Mars, he's up for Oppa 2, Billie Eilish, who's up for Wildflower, a song that overstayed its welcome on Billboard, and it's her only nominations this year alongside Song of the Year. And then the defending champion Kendrick is up for Luther. Right now, the way things looking, I think Record of the Year might go to one of those three. A past Record of the Year winner will likely take Record of the Year this year. Now let's talk about the snubs, and honestly, we don't have that many this year. We have one that stand out to me, and that's Mariah the Scientist. Burning Blue was one of the biggest songs in R&B, but it has 0 nominations. Alex Warren had the biggest song of 2025, but he only got nominated for Best New Artist, and the same could be said for Somber. Rap got it right outside of that Sexy Red thing, but there was one big snub. When it looked like The Weeknd has forgiven the Grammys, he gets snubbed again. But I will say it's less egregious than what happened in 2020 and 2021 because Hurry Up Tomorrow isn't The Weeknd's strongest work. And don't forget Country is also snubbed out of the Best New Artist category again. Now let's talk about the surprises, and we actually got a few of those. Leon Thomas leading all the Best New Artists in nominations, but the biggest surprise for me was seeing his name up for Album of the Year for Mutt, and that helps his Best New Artist chances. We have Cat's Eye being another big surprise. Even though their music is hit or miss, they have 2 nominations, one for Best New Artist and Best Pop Duo Group Performance for Gabriella. So far, things have been going right for them. I also underestimated the K-pop Demon Hunters, given that Golden is up for Song of the Year. Thought it was more of a Record of the Year favorite than Song of the Year, but it's here nonetheless. 30 for 30 being in the pop categories instead of R&B took me by surprise, as did Yukon and vice versa. But that pretty much wraps up all the takeaways I have for the 2026 Grammys. Tell me what y'all think in the comments below. Tell me who got snubbed, what surprised you, what stood out to you when looking at the nominees. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.